Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary General Moussa. And now, President Perez of Israel, no one has worked longer or harder on this thing we call the peace process than you have. And tell us how you think we can put it back together.
Thank you. Air Force. Okay. Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I heard the distinguished speakers talking about Israel, and they couldn't recognize the picture of the country that they know. I want to tell at the beginning, it's very difficult when a democratic country has to confront an illegal terroristic group. Whatever we do is being photographed. Whatever they do, nobody sees. For example, when you throw a rocket on a settlement in Israel, it's not being photographed. You cannot see the mother trying to defend her child the whole night and have a sleepless night. Did you ever saw on television a sleepless night? I have much respect for you, Mr. Prime Minister, but I must put things as they really are. Let me start with democracy, first of all. Who was elected by the Palestinians? Not Hamas, but Mr. Abbas, who is called Abu Mazen. 62% of the Palestinians voted for him to be the president of the Palestinian people. And we negotiate with him. Hamas participated in the elections, but they have a very unique idea about democracy. They think a democracy is a story of 1 day in 4 years. You go through the elections. After the elections, you can start to shoot and kill and threaten. Finished. Democracy is not a matter of elections. It is a civilization. And I want to contradict your words by quoting from the Hamas. I wouldn't go into inner Arab stories, but Hamas concerns us. Hamas published a charter. Let me just read 2 lines, 3 lines from it, from the Hamas charter. The day of judgment will not come about until the Muslims kill the Jews, when the Jews will hide behind stones and trees. There is no solution for peace initiative, proposals, international conferences are all a waste of time. This is an official charter. I don't know about which Hamas are you talking. Now, about the proportions. In the last 8 years, I mean, I hate to say it, but since you mentioned it, let me give the other picture too. Israel lost 1,167 lives from terrorists. 8,500 were wounded. It wasn't done in 20 days, it was done in several years. We restrained all the time. And then, since the last 4 years, when Hamas took over Gaza, 5,500 rockets and 4,000 mortars, shells, were fired upon civilian life in Israel at random. They didn't care if it's kindergarten, if it's... We didn't answer. For that reason, the ceasefire idea, Mr. Prime Minister, is very strange in our views. We never started fire. And we told the Palestinians time and again, don't fire, there won't be fire. We are not two equal parties at all. We never started. And who renewed, who broke? By the way, we didn't have a formal agreement about the ceasefire. They announced, and the Palestinians said, it's over. No, they broke it. And when the Prime Minister was at your place 4 days before the operation started, the government of Israel didn't yet decide to take actions against it. Now I want you to listen because you watch all of your television, I can understand your feeling. Israel left Gaza completely, no occupation. We took out all of our soldiers from Gaza, all our civilians. People are talking about settlements. We took out from Gaza all the settlements and all the settlers, 15,000 of them. Nobody forced us. It was our own choice. We have had to mobilize 45,000 policemen to bring them back home at the cost of $2.5 billion. I want to understand, why did they fight rockets against us? What for? There was not any siege against Gaza. All the passages were open. Not only that, we participated in investing money in Gaza to develop an agriculture. We have a Paris center. We ourselves put in $20 million, sorry, to build greenhouses, to develop strawberries, the export of strawberries, excellent strawberries, flowers. Jimmy Wolfensohn, who was a representative of the quartet, took from his own pocket $5 million also to participate in it. They destroyed it. Why? They bombed all the passages. Why? Why did they fire at us? What did they want? We didn't occupy. There was never a day of starvation in Gaza. By the way, Israel is the supplier of water daily to Gaza. Israel is the supplier of fuel to Gaza. The only thing we didn't permit to bring in is rockets from Iran. And they build tunnels to do it. And you know, we also have women and children, and they want to sleep at night. You know what it means? Every day, almost 100 rockets falling at random. 1 million people have had to be under shelter. They came to the government and says, what happened to you? We want to have security. Why do you permit to happen it? And I want anybody telling me clearly what were the reasons for the attack? What were the purposes of the attack? Peace. We made peace with Egypt, not by arms, by agreement and negotiation. And we met all the requests of Egypt. We made peace with Jordan, the same. We gave back all the land, all the water. We opened with the Palestinians, and we told them that we are for a Palestinian state. I started in Oslo against a majority, maybe, of our people who didn't agree. And all the time, you know, Mr. Prime Minister, you have had to wait, because many buses that came from the West Bank to Jerusalem were full of dynamite. I was then Prime Minister. I saw it with my own eyes, the blood and the bodies. You know, I don't have to watch television. And when I came in, there were thousands of people shouting at me, traitor, killer, look what you did to us. You must. There are many details that you have to know. Israel is 60 years old. Do you know any other country that in 60 years has had to go through 7 wars, 2 intifadas, an ongoing boycott? What? Why? And in spite of it, we made peace with Egypt. I have the highest respect for President Mubarak. By the way, President Mubarak accused Hamas, not us. And President Mubarak knows the situation not less than you, Mr. Prime Minister. And President Abbas knows the situation not less than you do. And he accused Hamas, not us. And then mothers and children came to the government and says, what will happen? 1 million people every night have had to hide themselves in shelters. Mothers with sleepless nights. What do you really mean? By the way, I never saw anybody demonstrating against those missiles. That was okay? Nobody said a word. And we didn't answer. A day in, a day out, a year in, a year out. There is a limit to it. And by the way, and I have much respect also for the Secretary General, who he used to be, and I hope he's still a friend. I appreciate very much their Arab initiative. But there is a problem in it, and I don't want to hide it. The problem is not the Arab world.